couple of years down the road, you feel the wind in your face as it goes through your hair as well. The warm summer's wind of a well spent day. You feel the warmth of the sun on your face for just a
Yeah.
sec, then you kind of feel on the back of your neck, and then for just a few precious seconds, you don't feel the sun at all.
Why? We like driving under a bridge or something?
No, it comes back into view. It's just, blocked for a few seconds as you go up and down and up and down, round
Up and
and
down
round.
what?
So you're on a carousel.
Oh God.
It's
Classic
completely,
carousel.
yeah, classic carousel. It's completely empty. You're the only one on it. You're on a horse. It's jet black. It's actually like the darkest hue of black that you've ever seen in your fucking life. This horse. When you look at it, the first time that you looked into because the eyes of the horse are the same color, and also it looks like it's screaming. The first time that you looked into the horse's eyes for just a second, you understand the true nature of God, and you are very weirded out. But
Yeah, man.
you're on the carousel. You feel you know, you feel the wind. You feel the sun. You go up and down that jet black stallion, and there's all kinds of animals on this. There's they go up and down. There's one that's it's like a two-seater. It's a scorpion where one of them is in, the body, then one of them is on top of the like the curve of the
The tail.
stinger. Yeah, yeah. There's
Wait, so they're like there's like a seat up there, or they're
there's a seat
like
up there.
they like lay into the curve of the tail.
No, it curves like a question mark almost, and you're kind of on the top of it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, no one's in there, but
Yeah, yeah.
there's also there's you see a lion, a tiger, and the biggest fucking bear that you've ever seen in your life. There's
Oh
actually
my.
you don't even see, there's no seat. You know what I mean? It's just there.
It's the bear.
Yeah.
This carousel sounds like it fucking sucks, Pat.
The horse that you're riding, it turns its head like all the way around, you know?
What the fuck,
So
Pat?
that's it's looking directly at you, and it says hello Aaron, and you're like, what? And then you blank, and you realize that every single animal on the carousel is looking at you,
What the
and
fuck, Pat?
they all have faces painted like clowns. They have like the classic red nose. You know, you see tied to one of their there's like the poles. You know what I mean? That they go up on.
Yeah.
That they go up on. They there's tied to it is a red balloon that's in the shape of your face, and all of the animals say in unison, "Hello, Aaron. My name is Dreamy Dan, ruler of the dreamscape, and welcome to
Here we go.
the Dead Eyes of Venus, an Aaron Brooks adventure." The carousel starts going faster and faster and faster and faster. The balloon pops. You kind of like wake up. You kind of like, or It's almost like you're, and you don't really know why, but it's almost like you're thrown out of bed as you wipe. You're like, what the fuck? And you kind of like stop remembering the dream, you know? Like the dream was so intense that you kind of like fell off your own bed as
How
you
the
came
fuck
back.
am I gonna forget that goddamn dream, Pat?
I don't know. I mean, it's just a thing that happens. Maybe it's an after effect of even meeting dreamy damn. I mean, I don't know. I'm just telling you what happens. So,
Sucks.
you fall to the floor and you're like, holy fuck. But you're kind of glad because you have a gig that night. You were taking a nap and you're like, holy shit, I could have, like, slept through it. You realize you didn't even set an alarm.
So
So,
it's a good thing I was ejected from my sleep.
I mean, that's your call. So, you jump up and you're like, "Well, I gotta get ready," and you run down the hallway. You forgot your socks on, and you do the thing where you just slide on those socks all the way down.
The risky business.
You risky business it, and as you do it, your clothes just like come right off. Like you just like in a like one very very easy confident stride. Shirts off, pants off. Only thing you got on are those fucking jet black socks. Your morning socks, you call them. They're the ones that you use to slide down the hallway. You don't do it you don't do it necessarily every morning, but it's fun to do. So you slide down the hallway and you get to your bathroom, jump in, shower, get ready, hop into the what you call the Brooks mobile, and you drive kind of towards downtown, like in downtown's general area, even though
Okay.
you're not going downtown.
Why am I driving there?
You're driving there because you look up into the sky and you realize that you have found the black star.
Are you fucking kidding me?
You follow the black star and it leads you to a place of town called Softville. Softville is this isolated part of town. You feel like they still have like weird rules and rituals. You know how like you hear about those things where it's like, oh, technically it's legal to murder your spouse if you dropped a spoon 2 times on Sunday. It's just these they were really old ass laws that we used to have that we no longer have. Something ridiculous like that. They have a few
Yeah.
they have a few of those, but they're enforced.
Jesus Christ.
If you eat bread on Wednesday in Softville, you will be torn apart by dogs that night in the town square.
Brett,
Bread.
what does that mean? Can you have pizza?
I mean, I
Or do
feel
they
like
consider dough bread? Or is it this is like a sandwich situation?
yeah, anything with bread.
Yeah, but is
So,
this sucks.
so
Soft bill sucks.
it's a little odd. But you think to yourself, just because it's different doesn't necessarily mean it's bad.
You can't eat bread on Wednesdays, Pat, or you will be torn apart by a pack of dogs.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't apply to what they call outlanders, such as yourself. So it doesn't matter. Plus, you're an invited guest. And the thing about Softville is that they will treat a guest right. You know, they have to, otherwise their crops will fail. So you are going to be the entertainment at a. You're not totally sure what it is, but it seems like it's a party. You know,
Great. I love doing gigs where I don't have the information. That's
no,
my
it's
favorite
like
thing.
you're like they're like we're a private party. We've seen your videos on YouTube.
Oh,
We think you're really funny. You have that one bit about um how you you posted a video earlier in the year that got a lot of hits. Your stomach growls so loudly in the middle of your set that it people can hear it.
Great.
and it becomes like
Wonderful.
a running joke throughout the set. It's a 10-minute set, and you rumble probably about a dozen times. And the you title it overweight comedian gets the rumbly tumblies.
Great.
So they're like, we love that tummy video, but we also saw some of your other videos, and they're really funny. And so they are paying you $1,500 to come out to Softville to this mansion, and you're going to perform for this. I guess it's like a almost like a society, like a group of people, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're called.
What kind of society?
You're not totally certain. All you know is that they're called the Trey Boys.
God damn it, Pat. The
T,
Trey Boys.
yeah, the Trey Boys. T Boys for short. It's a group of people who have three first names. So people whose names are like, Michael, Gilbert, Franklin. You know,
Yeah.
he's a Trey boy, and
Yeah.
they get together and there's a lot of rumors about him, but at the same time, nothing concrete. I mean, there's crazy rumors about all kinds of decent people. Plus, you could use the money. You're
Why?
you're
Why?
you're being sued.
Why the fuck am I being sued, Pat?
Um, you performed at a mayor's inauguration, and you bombed so badly that they are like, this was a misuse of like taxpayer funds to pay this guy.
Fuck you. Come on.
So it turned into this
Are you
only.
fucking kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, there are some people who are like, what the fuck, like the ACLU said they'd help you out, but they haven't gotten back to you yet. um
I bomb so bad that I get sued for it because it is considered the misappropriation of public funds.
Yeah, the taxpayers paid for. They're like, look, all like these anti-war activists are like, look, no money for bombs. It doesn't matter if they're physical or if they're
Oh,
jokes.
fuck you.
The
Fuck
people like
you.
the people for nonviolent solutions of Los Angeles, they come down on you hard, dude. So you're performing for the Trey Boys. You get there before you get there, and there's an act before you, but you get there a little bit early anyway. um so you get to this place. It's like this Victorian mansion. you know uh it's you're not exactly It's kind of hard to tell exactly what direction of town it's in. um you feel like maybe it's north, but I don't know. The maps don't make a whole lot of sense in Sawville. So you come to this like Victorian ass mansion, and it's one of those things where there's a gate, and there's a very long driveway. And you you take it, you drive it, and you're kind of like looking ahead, and it is, I'm not gonna lie to you, Aaron, it is kind of a creepy looking mansion, especially, in the moonlight. But the closer you get, the more comfortable you feel, because it becomes more real. It's not this weird, creepy house at the end of this driveway where you're performing for this, what might be a secret society of people, but you don't even really know exactly what they're
The
doing
Prey
there.
Boys.
Yeah, the Trey voice, but they
Is that why they picked me?
what do you mean?
Because I have three first names. People have used Brooks as a first name. Brooks Robinson,
Yeah.
you know,
Um,
Brooks Wheelan, our friend.
yep. You ask them that, but like they actually don't respond to that. That's like the one thing
Are
they don't respond
are
to.
all of the other performers Trey Boys as well?
You're not really sure. The only other performer
I
that's
never asked him another name.
no. Well, once you heard $1,500, your eyes just kind of metaphorically went a wooga out of your
But like
skull.
while I'm there, I'm like watching somebody on stage. Who am I watching perform?
It's this guy. He does comedy raps as this character. He dresses like a baby. And he's called Lil Stinker. And Lil Stinker does like, silly comedy raps where it's like, I'm just a little boy and I pooed my pants. Tsh, but do do tish. Oh no, I pooed my underpants. Huh, 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 huh. Hey guys, you ever notice when you shit your pants? Then like tells jokes as like
That's fucking awful.
Lil Stinker. And so you get there and he's already performing, so you're not really like, you don't really talk to him or anything. You thought you got there early, but driving up that driveway, you kind of
It's a
did feel,
nightmare.
yeah, you kind of felt like you're not really certain how to articulate this beyond saying that like time kind of wrapped around itself.
It's like
So
driving on a treadmill.
a little bit, yeah. Like it's like driving on a treadmill at midnight. And so you get there and people are kind of, there's a few people in there watching the act. Most people are like, what the fuck is this? But there's some people milling around and you're actually seeing some pretty big names there that you're kind of surprised to see. Like there's certain politicians and stuff like that. The chief of, the chief of the fire chief, the fire department chief is there. William Frank Xavier.
William Frank Xavier.
Yeah, he's the chief of the fire department of,
William Xavier.
yeah, of LA.
All right.
Big red Irish face and a big red honking nose. This guy drinks.
Yeah.
You can tell just fucking looking at him. He's one of those
Yeah.
guys. Even when he's not drunk, you're like, this person clearly has some kind of, thing going.
This guy is probably unsafe to be around flames.
You kind of notice around him that like some like they're smoking cigars, but like if he comes around, people will like kind of almost unconsciously like move their cigar away.
I guess that's the dancey dances, you know?
And this man dances.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see him, you see this guy, and you're like, how do I know this guy? You feel like he looks really familiar, but you can't quite place it. You become aware that there's like this guy kind of like standing next to you. Not like, close, but he's like walks up behind you. He's a guy who has like some, hors d'oeuvres and stuff. He's got a plate of small little like sausages, you know?
Cocktail wieners.
Yeah. He calls them teeny weenies.
Yeah, man.
He comes up behind you kind of and he goes like yeah, it's him. Um Jefferson
What?
Kennedy Raymond. And he goes, but no one, you probably know him as the Coinstar Kingpin.
Oh
you
God.
you look over at this guy and he's like this gigantic like fucking, he's not jacked in the sense of he's got abs and stuff like that. He's just a big
It's a mass
hulk,
monster.
yeah, just a wall of flesh and
Ugh.
hate,
Yeah. Meat.
barely contained hate. He's a big fucking dude. He's bald, um and you're like, holy shit. And you kind of, as the guy walks away, he's like, oh, teeny weeny, do you take one?
Yeah. Yeah, of course I'm gonna take one.
You take one and pop it in your mouth.
I'm taking
You
two, let's be honest.
Yeah,
And then I go for somebody else, and I like turn to look around,
right.
but as soon as I'm Out of sight line, I'm eating that other weenie.
Yeah, the guy walks away. He doesn't say anything, he leaves you your dignity, and
That's all I asked for.
you chew on them weenies and you realize like, oh right, that's the guy that the media calls the Coinstar Kingpin. He's this guy, even though it's never been proven, there's a lot of rumors about this guy that he's involved with criminal activity. Specifically that every single Coinstar in Los Angeles, he gets a cut of that. And
I mean, somebody does.
right, but he gets like a significant portion. And basically you're kind of paying for protection, you know. Of course, it's that mob thing where it's protection from me, some guy. Um, so if you don't pay for protection, there's two ways that the Coinstar Kingpin will go about it. One of them is that he just kills you and he installs somebody who will play ball. Or he'll just tell you, look, here's the deal. Like he'll essentially threaten you, but subtly, almost elegantly. Because even though behind this whole facade of wearing a nice suit and mingling with high society, you know that therein lies a wolf. Even though that, um, there is a certain elegance to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A certain grace to the way he walks. As he walks past you, that song, you can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a lazy man. Starts playing. So you go in.
Staying
Little,
alive.
little Stinker is finishing up.
Killing it.
Yeah. So by this time, the crowd is completely on his side, and this is pretty much
Yeah.
what always happens. Is you start watching Little Stinker, and by the end, you're like, this is so fucking stupid. Why is this happening? But by the end of it, 9 times out of 10, you're like, oh, okay, I get it. Some people can. It's kind of like it's almost like Zappa.
What? I don't fucking care about Little Stinker. I got to be honest with you.
So
That's not something I'm seeking out.
right. So you go up there, uh, you do a set, and you do entertain these guys, man. You go up there, you have a great set. You get off stage, they have like some dinner for you. They can't allow you to, mix with you know, with the rest of the Trey boys for dinner. It's like it's one of the only rules that you're really able to figure out. But they have like a very large like dressing room for you. So after you're done performing, they have a piping hot dinner waiting for you.
What are we talking?
We're talking the most flavorful lasagna that you've ever had in your fucking life.
Okay, now we're talking. All right.
And you have a
That
choice of
sounds great.
several different types of water.
Cold, flat. As cold as you can get it.
Yeah.
Flat.
You open the fridge, you reach for that fucking bottle of Cold Daddy brand water. You open it, take a sip. It's perfect. So
Great.
you sit there, you eat, and you're like, they pay you and stuff, and they're like, all right, well, we appreciate you coming out and performing, blah 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 blah. We'll go ahead. Like, do you mind if we recommend you to like,
Yeah, I
other
say
groups that we
that
know?
would be great. Yeah,
They go,
thank you.
great,
I would
man. Yeah.
appreciate that.
They go, of course. So as you're leaving, you kind of get lost and you end up in like the closet where all the jackets are.
How the fuck do I get lost and wind up in a goddamn jacket closet, Pat?
It's a very big mansion.
Yeah,
And
but
so
that's where I wind up is a jacket closet.
yeah, so you kind of get lost. The hallways seem to change as you walk, you know?
What the
So
fuck?
it's easy for you to get, lost. And so you end up in the closet and you realize that in front of you on the rack is the Coinstar Kingpin's gigantic white fucking jacket.
I want nothing to do with that.
And so
I
you're
want
like,
nothing to do with that shit.
you back away from it, but as you close the door, you see that like on the inside of this guy's gigantic jacket, he has like this thing written, like a patch that says like, if found, return to uh 123 Villain Road.
123 Villain Road.
123 Villain Road. And you're like, that's fucking weird. You close the door, um, and you go home. You walk into your apartment, walk into your room, and walk into your spacious walk-in closet. You think, and like some of the people that you work with are like, oh man, like we're jealous of this walk-in closet that you got. You
Nobody's gonna know.
will you brag
What the
about it
fuck?
when you
Why
move
am I
in?
bragging about having a walk-in closet?
Because it's pretty goddamn spacious, Aaron. And you think to yourself, if they only knew. You push like a button, and the door, like one of the walls, like turns into a door and it opens. And in front of you is your costume.
What the fuck, man?
You slip on a pair of like dark camo pants, black t-shirt with like at first glance it's basically a skull, but the skull is like smiling, you know? You put on
Yeah,
your your combat boots, and you grab your arsenal. You look at yourself in the mirror and you go, "This is a job for the Punisher."
what
Over
the
so over
fuck?
over the past 6 months, you've been kind of just had it up to here with the level of crime that's happening in your neighborhood. There's some like pretty wild stuff going on, and the cops aren't doing shit, and you decide to take the law into your own hands, you know? So you kind of become a vigilante, and you call yourself the Punisher because
Fuck
you're
this.
you're
Fuck this.
your whole thing, like your gimmick, is that you have like you fight bad guys with like whoopee cushions and stuff like that, just really silly things,
That.
banana peels. That's like your gimmick. You kind of think to yourself, well, every vigilante needs a gimmick.
No, they don't, Matt. They don't need a fucking gimmick. That isn't a goddamn comic book.
Yeah, but you
They
were
don't need a
watch
fucking gimmick. They need to
you
know how to kill someone if they're gonna be getting into violent skirmishes. They
yeah.
need to know how to defend themselves. Not throw a goddamn banana peel on the ground and they slip and fall on their butt.
Well, hey, take that nonsense and tell it to Grandma Van Houten, the
I don't
woman
fucking
who
care.
you saved by uh so she was at like getting mugged by this guy, and he's like, "Hey, give me your purse, Grandma." And she's like, "If only someone could help me." Then all of a sudden, you just like fucking walk in from the goddamn shadows. You're wearing that fucking black shirt with that smiling skull on it, and you go, "Hey." He kind of like look. The guy like looks up in surprise, and you have a fake flower, and you go, "Wrong night, asshole." and like you spray like corrosive acid in his face, and he's like, ah, like
Jesus
falls over,
Christ.
and she looks up and sees you, and she's like, "Who are you?" And you look right at her, and you're like, "The Punisher." You take a like a one of those fake like can like nut cans, and you throw it
Yeah.
down on the ground, and it explodes, and a bunch of like snakes go flying everywhere,
Snakes.
and you like disappear. You know what I mean?
I disappear in a cloud of snakes.
Yeah, and well, they're not real snakes, obviously, but they
No, the spring snakes.
yeah, the spring snakes. And so you realize like, holy shit, you've been going after the Coinstar Kingpin for quite some time. You've never been able to devote enough time actively to going after him because he's able to cover his tracks really, really well. No, like he never goes to collect the money himself. You know what I mean? He has
Yeah.
this whole thing where he's laundering the money. You know what I mean? But he's able to do it through shell companies and all this stuff. So he's very reclusive. He's, you know,
He's evading the law.
yeah. And he's the man on the throne as far as like this whole racketeering thing going or whatever that he's doing. And so you're feeling like maybe it's because you finally know what this guy is. Maybe it's because all those fucking bottles of Mountain Dew that you chugged, but you are ready.
Why am I chugging Mountain Dew?
It just like, you know, ramps you up, dude. It just has you
It's yeah,
feeling good, you know? You feel like as long as you're chugging Mountain Dew, you can take on the world. And you can. You can like it makes you it heightens your senses for sure. You find that it makes you a little like definitely stronger, faster, better. Almost like it's a little more you, you know?
great.
So you're like, let's fucking do this. The Punisher, he uses primarily to get around. Uh, you have like a lot where you just have a bunch of cars that you stole from criminals, and you just kind of like drive around in those. And so you jump into one of these stolen cars, and you're doing the thing where like you're kind of like narrating stuff in your head a little bit, where you're like,
Sucks.
you don't think it's a little cool?
No, Pat. I'm driving around. I'm called the Punisher. I wear camo pants and a black t-shirt with a smiling skull on it.
Yeah, but like you could do all kinds of cool stuff, especially after you drink that Mountain Dew. You disappeared in a storm of snakes. It's kind of cool. So anyway,
I'm like a super redneck. I get charged up on Mountain Dew. I'm wearing camo everywhere.
yeah,
Like,
and you have like a bunch of really silly, means of attack. So you go to 123 Villain Road.
villain.
It's a in a very nice part of LA, despite the name. It was named after the first person who had a home there in that neighborhood. His name was Grant Villain, and so they named the street after him. Nice enough guy. Died alone. Willed his entire fortune um, to his cats, but like but he didn't own any cats. It's mostly like whatever cats that end up living in like walking to this house can live there. So he gives up his home and his fortune to whatever wild cat wants to you know start over again. It's basically a second chance for wildcats, is how he views it in his will. And people respect it. They think it's a little odd, but he believed that
Yeah.
every cat deserved a second chance.
This guy sounds like he sucks too. Grant villain.
Yeah. He loved cats, dude, especially the weak ones, especially the hurt ones.
Ugh.
He was allergic to cats, so he never actually owned any. It's mostly like he just left it open. So you get there. There's a couple of like, guards on the perimeter and stuff like that, but you fucking take care of them no problem, you know? You have some
Punish
marbles.
them.
Yeah, you punish them. You have some like marbles that you roll out at one of the guards, and he goes whoop and slips and hits his head, and he's like knocked unconscious. One of the other guards hears it and turns around and he's like, what the heck? And for a second, he's not sure if he should shoot or if he should grab his walkie-talkie and call for backup, you know? So he kind of
Yeah.
like hesitates for just a second.
Bad move.
Yep.
That's all I
You
need.
you pull out a Jack in the Box that you have like keyed to go, you know what I mean?
Yeah. All
And
right, a
you
bust.
yep, you click it and you say out loud, "Pop." And like, the jester head or whatever comes out, it goes across the room. Guy's fucking he smashed his entire fucking skull in. Like he is like,
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
he's taken out.
Jesus.
You work your way into the fucking the Coinstar Kingpin's compound, basically. You get down to like the inner sanctum, Again, after
Yeah.
taking out several guards with various hilarious ways. Like you giggle after it happens, you know what I mean? You think it's so funny. And so you get in there and there's like a really long table. And the table is filled with like a sumptuous feast. There's like a perfectly carved turkey, macaroni and cheese, all kinds of incredible southern cooking.
Oh,
The Coinstar Kingpin is like sitting at like the far end of it. You come in, he's like, "Aaron, I thought you'd come find me." He goes, "Have a seat. Will you join me for dinner?" You kind of look down and
fuck no. Get me out of here. No. I want to fucking eat dinner with this guy.
he goes, "Look, Aaron, I think you should hear this from my point of view. I think you've been told a horrible rumor about me that is absolutely not true, and frankly, plays on stereotypes about Italians that I don't think is funny." And you're like, and like you look at him and you're like, you change your voice when you're the Punisher, so you're like, "Yeah, stereotypes are harmful." So you sit down with him, um, and he basically goes. You actually have dinner with
I'm
him,
wearing
and
a mask.
yeah,
Am I eating through a mask?
you're wearing like a Ninja Turtle thing around your bandana around your eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, but you have infrared goggles and shit like that. You have goggles, they look cool as fuck, dude. I'm not gonna
I
lie.
just don't want to have to eat through a mask.
No, oh no, you don't have to do that. So you sit down and you talk to him for a little bit, and he basically goes on to tell you. He's like, "Yeah, there are people who spread these rumors about me, blah 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 blah." He looks at you. He pulls out a briefcase. This is after like dinner's done. He puts it on the table and slides it down towards you. You catch it. He's like, "Aaron, I think you should open that briefcase." What do you do?
I opened the briefcase.
In there is like an envelope. There's also a gun with a bunch of bullets. He goes, "Aaron, inside this briefcase is irrefutable proof that this person ruined your life Also inside this briefcase is a gun. Should you choose to use it, if any of these bullets are found in the investigation, you won't go to jail. He goes, in that envelope is the photograph of the person who fucking ruined your life, Aaron. What do you do?
Do I feel like my life is ruined?
That's the thing. You kind of are like a little confused. What do you?
Yeah. If anything, it's just a picture of me, you know.
Yeah,
I mean, I look out of curiosity, I look.
yeah. So you open it up, and as you pull it out, he starts giving the info. He goes, "This guy's name is Mickey. Mickey Less." You look down. It's a picture of this guy. He's wearing tight stonewashed jeans, a maroon shirt,
Yeah.
a sweet as fuck leather jacket,
Okay.
and as you're looking at the jacket, you don't look directly at his hands, and for a second they look huge.
Yeah.
You go, what the fuck? And you look down, and the hands they appear to be normal. The Coinstar Kingpin goes, Aaron, I can give you what you need to get your revenge. Do you take it? He goes, in exchange, maybe you stop looking into me. He goes, I'm just a guy who made a lot of really smart business moves.
Do I have anything on this Coinstar Kingpin to make me think he's a criminal?
So you've taken down a lot of his men lately. And they like after you beat the fuck out of these guys with like fly swatters and like, other crazy things like that, you get them to admit that like, yeah, they work that guy, the Coinstar Kingpin, he's real. People act like he's an urban legend. He's like, but we all kick up to him. It turns out that like people who turn coins into money, like that, like business, it is rife with illegal activity. The people who are involved with it tend to be, there are a few honest, people involved with it, but the longer that they are in business, the fewer and farther they between.
I'm not turning on Mickey less. I look down at that gun and I load it with this is a revolver. I,
Fucking
I load I
six
load it,
shooter.
right?
Yeah.
And then I try to fire one right at the Coinstar Kingpin.
You pull that fucking gun into the air, and you
Yeah.
have them in your sights within what feels like a fraction of a second.
Yeah.
You have the gun trained on them, and you fucking fire.
Yeah.
And right before you fire, you chug some more Mountain Dew. So now, like
I'm not chugging Mountain Dew, Pat.
your senses are honed to um the extent that you see the bullet like slowly.
Bullet time.
Yeah, it goes into bullet time, and you like run after the bullet. Also in bullet time, you like jump into the air, you kick him, and he goes like oh in slow motion, flying. He crashes out that fucking window, and you guys are like like 7 stories up. It's a very big house. Very modern too. You would think that he would have a McMansion, but absolutely not. Modern but tasteful.
Yeah.
He has a lot of like sculptures and statues and stuff like that. He has like what he calls his statue garden, actually like directly underneath him as he like slowly flies out the air. And as he's like
Yeah.
still flying out there, the bullet just goes right through his fucking throat.
Fuck yeah.
It goes back to normal, you know? He like flies out there. You watch him like fall down and he just lands lifeless amongst the you know, the sculptures, all of them who are missing, you know, limbs and stuff, you know, that old kind of
Yeah.
Greek, that classic old
Sure.
Greek way, you know. You look out and you're like, looks like you've cashed yourself out, Kingpin. And you spit on his dead body. You turn around and there's like 17 guards there, all of them with machine guns. And
Come
they go,
on.
and they go,
Are you
holy
fucking kidding
shit.
me?
And they all open fire at you.
Come on.
There's you're cut to pieces by these guys.
What
Uh
the fuck?
there's
17 of them?
yeah, there's not enough of your body left for them to like bury anything.
God damn it, Pat.
So
That
they
sucks.
they just bury you with like just essentially it's they take a broom, you know, and they put one of your Punisher shirts over it, you know what I mean? And they bury it on a cemetery called Dead Man's Grave.
Dead man's graves.
Yeah, that's where you're buried.
Jesus Christ, Pat.
But at least you took out the Coinstar Kingpin, you know?
Yeah, I guess. Fuck
He
this.
was immediately replaced by a different gang, so
Great.
but you
Fuck
know,
this.
but at least you had a fun adventure.
Yeah,
Punisher.
that sucks.